Welcome, hot dogs, to our January Town Hall. I can't help but think of, in these upcoming months, of big broadcasts coming up in February and then our spring show. And so we've had a long history at Frankfort High School, a long tradition of just an excellence in our theater program. From Martin Henderson and Michael Clausen, as well as our current theater director and teacher and legend, Michael Taylor. And so I wanted to have Michael Taylor on with me today to just introduce him, as most people know him in the community, not only here at Frankfort, but at the Red Barn in the summer. I wanted to invite Michael on this month just to talk about big broadcast coming up, as well as the spring show. So, Mr. Taylor, welcome today to Town Hall. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I know it's a busy time, and a lot's going on prepping for big broadcasts, so glad to have you on.
Oh, thank you.
I'd like you to kind of tell the kind of our listeners where you hail from. I chose that word because it seems like a theater term to use. Where did you go to college, and what did you get a degree in, so we can learn a little bit more about you?
Well, I'm from Fishers,
Okay.
so I went to Hamilton Southeastern High School.
Okay.
And actually, my acting teacher there went to Frankfort High School.
Okay.
So that was kind of my connection here.
Okay.
And then from there, I went to Ball State, where I studied in theatrical studies. I'll try not to get long-winded on some of my answers because I could talk about theater forever, probably more than people want to hear. But I love everything about it. So at Ball State, they have what's called options, and you audition for those. So you can be an acting option, musical theater option, performance, well, not performance anymore, but or technical, directing. So initially when I went in, I said, I want to be an actor. That's
right.
But once I got in there, I realized you're kind of pigeonholed a little bit if you pick one of those options. And I auditioned and I made it. And I ended up dropping the option because I found if I took theatrical studies as a more general study, I could do everything. I could take the design classes. I could take the directing classes.
Okay.
But you are really limited on what you're allowed to take if you're an option because they want to focus you in on that area. And I had a professor who told me I was making the wrong choice. He said, you've got to make a decision. Who are you? And I said, I'm all these things. And in the end, when I finally graduated, he came to me after graduation and shook my hand. He said, you knew what you wanted to be and you made the right choice.
Okay.
Because when I left, I was marketable. And actually my tech background is what's got me through a lot of doors that once I'm in there, then they say, oh, you can direct, or, oh, you're an actor. Yeah. So we're going to give you this opportunity.
Yeah.
And I say that for all of my kids. Martin Henderson, who is a mentor of mine and kind of like really a father to me since my father passed away early in my life. And he always said that we are a dying breed. He said nobody wants to do everything. But not to get too far into that, but it's just I love every aspect.
Yeah.
And Ball State gave me that opportunity to do that.
I think that's important for kids in high school, especially when they leave high school and they get into college. You have to start making decisions on your own. And sometimes, you, even as a 19, 20-year-old, you kind of have a gut feeling about what you want. You stuck with that, and it worked out for you. So that's great to hear. It's great for people to hear that there's a struggle, and you've got to reflect on what you want to do, and you hear different voices from all around you talking to you about one way or the other that you should go, and I appreciate you sharing that and that vulnerability about how you navigated your way through college.
Well, even before going into college, the debate was, what did I want to do?
Okay.
I could have played baseball.
Okay.
I originally thought baseball was going to be my thing. I was going to be a professional baseball player. I was going to make millions. But I decided to be an actor, and now I make nothing. But when I went in, Ball State, they offered me the opportunity to play, but I looked at it as, where am I as an athlete?
Yeah.
And I was good enough to play for them.
Okay.
But, they wanted me to come off the bench. I'm left-handed.
Okay.
I throw the speed. But I knew at that point the reality of it.
Yeah.
I was never going to make it
to
major leagues.
Yeah.
And I knew theater was the possibility, and that was probably my future.
Yeah.
So I chose theater over baseball. So the students, when they find out about that, they're like, what?
Yeah.
Looking at Dudley and listening to his stories and the life and the fun that he had playing baseball in college.
That's right.
I'm like, I kind of miss that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would not be where I am today if I'd made that choice.
If you made that choice. And we're blessed that you made that choice. We're
Thank
glad
you.
to have you here. Can you speak a little bit about what your role is here at Frankfort High School, and maybe a little bit about what your role is after May and in the summer at the Red Barn?
It's big. And I don't think anyone really knows what it is unless, like
Yeah,
someone like you
that's
that's
right.
behind the scenes and
Yeah.
you know what's going on. But it all starts, anything that happens in the theater here, I'm there for it.
Right.
I'm responsible for it. I would say the number one thing that happens over there and the number one reason I have this job today is safety. After Martin left and after Michael Clausen left, they just started bringing in English teachers or somebody that says, oh, anybody who's taken a theater class can run that. But we have a full rigging system. Our theater here is awesome. And there's a lot of safety protocol that goes along with that space. And you need somebody that's working with the kids and not just sitting in the house going, yeah, just move that there or do that. You have to be very hands-on. So the number one thing is safety. The other thing, the big thing is scheduling. That place is busy. Case Arena is a very popular area here, as a thing that we have. But our theater is the same thing. And I truly believe that our students and what happens in-house is the number one thing that happens over there. So, if somebody comes in and says, hey, can we use it? Well, I'm going to say, are we using it first? Right. I will never allow something that happens in the school to get bumped for something else. Hot dogs first. Hot dogs first, absolutely. Yeah. And I think you earn a right to be, in that space. And just like you earn a right to play on our, in our arena. So scheduling and then putting together a curriculum for what's going on in there, whether it's the music, the arts classes, performance, any other class is doing, several classes will say, can we use it for our final? We're doing presentations. Right. So you find time to make that happen in there and how do you set all that up in there? Okay. That's just a touch of the things that goes.
You teach too.
Yes.
So some might think that you do all of this part, which is huge, but you also have classes.
So we have all the technical theater classes. We have the basic technical theater class, which is just really learning the space, the positions of theater. And that's a chance for them to say, ooh, that sounds interesting. I like that, and I'd like to take that path. And if they do that, then they can take the advanced class. And the advanced class is very hands-on. That's where they get an assignment when they walk in, and they have till the end of that time period to get it. Generally, it's students who they think, this could be a pathway for me. This could be a direction that I want to do. And we've had several students since I've been here who have gone on to do it, which is that as an educator, you're like, you love to see that. And like a coach who now has somebody who's playing college or professional ball. It's like, you take pride and ownership into that.
You do. Well, thank you. So you also have, you work in the summer at the Red Barn. I'm just curious how all of that came about.
Well, I was working at the Red Barn actually before I started here. I was living in Los Angeles at the time. And then Martin had called me and said, hey, are you free over the summer? I have a role for you. So I came back in and I was here and they had created this position. Karen Rudolph was one of the ones that kind of headed that up. And someone on the school board knew of me and knew that I was originally local. And so they contacted me and said, would you be interested in interviewing for it? And I thought, it's probably a job that's really hard. It takes a lot of time and there's probably no pay for it. Because when you get into the arts and things in theater, there isn't. And then once I got into it, it actually was a good gig. And the number one thing is working here allows me to still be creative. Working with kids, doing the things in the classes. It allows, the summers are open because I can work at the barn. The barn, I'm the artistic director at the Red Barn Summer Theater. I feel like I'm veering a little. So there I run the theater itself. Now there are lots of people who help me. And I'm not going to list names because I'll forget somebody.
Right. That's fine. Yes.
But I'm in charge of the casting. I pick all the shows that happen out there. The hardest job, and same thing here at Frankfort High School, is picking shows. And you have to pick a show that I love, that I'm willing to put you put all this time into.
That's right.
You have to pick a show that you think your community is going to like and that fits in this community. Clinton County is it's a tough place. And so stuff is very edgy. And, and you're only allowed to edit or tweak things just the slightest bit. For the most part, when you get a script, they're going to say, you have to do that.
Follow it.
And when you are bringing in actors to the barn, these professional actors or these college actors, that's the stuff that they're doing. And if you bring them in and say, hey, we're doing children's theater, they're not interested.
Right.
And they're not going to do it.
Okay.
They expect a certain level. At the high school, you have that same element. Now, it is a school. So, the parents and the students, they expect a certain kind of level of, you're not going to do something with all the language or, all these, some of the shows that the students would like, and they always suggest, I'm like, can we do that? I say, no, never are we doing that here. But at the same time, I want to do shows, one, that they want to do, but two, that they are going to grow as a performer, and we are going to grow as a department.
Right.
If you do Junie B. Jones or Pinkalish, I don't know, I always keep coming back, but some of them just children's theater.
Right.
Our students don't want that. They don't want to do that. They want to be challenged.
Yeah.
But they also understand that challenge only, there's a ceiling for that, what we're allowed to do and what we should only be allowed to do. So they're finding that happy medium with what fits this and gives Frankfort a good name and giving them what they're wanting, that they feel like they are growing and they're achieving. There is a fine line in there. And walking that line is probably one of the toughest parts of the job.
Yeah, I bet it is. Well, thank you. Let's take a break for Farley's Frankfort Fun Facts, and we come back. You've kind of provided a nice segue about your programming here at Frankfort. So we'll be right back. Enjoy Farley's Frankfort Fun Facts.
Welcome back to Farley's Fun Facts. Spring is nearing, and it's a reminder that the big broadcast performance is about to begin. Did you know in 1951, when I Love Lucy originated, they had live bands play during their performances? The same was true here in Frankfort. The Hot Dog Band, or the Big Band, played live during big broadcast. This is what provided us the name Big Broadcast. Keep an eye out this February for the dates for our big broadcast performance in the spring. That's all I have for Farley's Frankfort Fun Facts. Have a great day, hot dogs.
Hey, welcome back to the January Superintendent Town Hall. I have today with me guest Michael Taylor, theater director here at Frankfort High School. Mr. Taylor, let's talk about your yearly programs. You were alluding to that a little bit before our commercial break about your selection process. Please, can you share with the audience what your fall lineup looks like? And then we'll get into big broadcast and spring show second semester. So what do you try to do in your fall lineup of programming, theater programming?
Well, we have the fall play, and plays are tough. Musicals, they sell better.
Yes.
People are interested. There's something about music that brings people in. But when you do a play, it's how do you connect with the kids? How do you do something that the audience is going to want to come and see?
Right.
And you want to do something, you don't want to do the same shows over and over and over that every school is doing. So I found murder mysteries are usually pretty good. Like any department most departments in the high school level they're hurting for guys. Guys just don't come out and do theater like they used to. And theater's cool.
Yes.
All right. So I'm telling you right now, it's awesome. I mean, look at this guy. But there's something about it. The guys just don't. It's not cool or whatever.
Right.
So they don't do it. So you only have so many.
Okay.
So you look for shows, or can I gender bend? Can I, can this character be played by both a male or a female?
Okay.
And that's what it is. And so some of the kids were saying, why do we always do mysteries? And I said, so I can cast you.
Right.
So there's more opportunities.
Okay.
They get frustrated when there's one or two guys that are always getting cast. And I said, well, find more competition for it. And so that's why we do it.
You've got big broadcasts coming up. It's been going on for years and years. I think it's one of the best kept secrets of Frankfort High School. Not kept secrets, but just I'd like more and more people to know about it, because it really highlights the talents of kids, not only in your current music programs, but it highlights kids that maybe aren't part of those programs but have a talent. I know that you try to focus and try and find as much as you can and pull that out during big broadcast. Can you share with the community a little bit about big broadcast and how you get kids on the stage to perform?
Well, we do auditions.
Okay.
And so I'll do the initial auditions to kind of see who's interested. The hardest part of it is auditions. So not everybody makes it.
Okay. Yep.
And I feel like part of my job is to showcase these
Right.
students.
Exactly.
And there's kids who want to come in and they want to sing or they want to play this instrument or they want to do this. And I want them, if there's any way that I can justify putting them on that stage, I want to do it.
Okay.
Because I think every kid that wants it should have that opportunity.
Right.
But it's also my job to make sure that they don't put themselves in a place that makes them look bad.
Right. Yep.
And that is hard. And
Yep.
that's a hard conversation to have with the student.
It is.
But I always say I have an open door. You know, if you don't make something, come in and talk to me.
Right.
But only come talk to me if you want the truth. Because I don't always sugarcoat it.
Right.
You
Nope.
know, and there's been so many students who have done that, who have come in and they want to prove me wrong, and they work so hard and they come back and I'm like, yes.
That's it.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
But overall, it's showcasing our students, and it is everything from dance, instruments. The band and the orchestra, they play. Our dance team performs. It's really anything. We haven't had a comedian or anything like that yet, but
right.
if they came, they would probably make it if the material was right.
If the material was right.
Yeah.
So I think you've just touched on something. You know, the community schools of Frankfort, we strive for excellence and everything. And when we talk about high expectations for excellence, that's just what you just said. You talked about how, you know, you've got some people are very talented, some people will come in and struggle. And if people are willing to kind of hear that feedback and be challenged by it, and then rise to that, I believe kids will rise to high expectations. And I think that's what's just so great about you, Mr. Taylor, is that you provide an environment where kids can rise to your high expectations. And if they're not there yet, you're willing to work with them to get them there. But they've got to put in the work to get there too.
Absolutely. Nothing comes easy.
No, nothing comes easy.
For some people, and that's frustrating to me because nothing comes easy
Right.
to me.
Got to work at it.
But yeah, I mean, it is challenging. The other thing is we recruit, and you have to in every department.
That's right.
And you know, and if I see somebody or I hear somebody, students will come to me and like, oh my gosh, there was a quinceanera and this band played, or somebody was singing, and I will find that student and I will call them down. And most of the time, I think now the kids kind of know if they get hey,
you're coming
to see Mr. Taylor.
Yep.
He's like, oh, he wants me to perform. But you know, I only do it because I see something in you.
That's right.
And I want to give you that opportunity.
Yep.
Now it's easy. They can say no.
That's right.
And they may have to tell me no 3 or 4 times.
Right.
But I want to showcase them.
Yeah.
If they've got talent, do it.
You want them. You want them. That's right. Been blessed with it. Might as well show it.
Yes.
Could you talk a little bit about, just as we finish up, 2 things. One, about the spring musical coming up, and then also, I'd like to just hear your feedback about the middle school is going to have a beautiful new auditorium, and I know it's a different auditorium than the high school auditorium in design. So if you can share a little bit about the spring musical, and then finish up by just your thoughts on the auditorium over at the middle school that will open up next year.
The spring musical. So we don't have it yet to announce. One thing that we do here with the kids is once we figure it out and we get the rights to it, we'll put up a list of about 12 shows, and each day we mark off a couple of shows. Okay. This gives the students a chance to research to see what on the list so they can guess. Yeah. We started it, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago. Okay. And now it's been the thing, and so now students are constantly coming to, when's the list come up? When's the list go up?
That's great.
So as far as what that show is, we keep that silent. Although right now honestly today, as of right now, we don't know what it is. Okay. Even though all the kids think we do. Okay. I love the musical because the musical and Mr. Hutton and Miss Wood, they will say the same thing. It is our true showcase of our departments. It is. Where we all come together and we're our own directors on many of the other things that happen. That's the one time that we work together to really achieve something. And I think the musicals get as much praise as they do because of our 3 minds.
Collaborative effort.
Because there's no way I could do it on my own. And it's a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work. Okay. And every kid wants to be the lead. Yeah. But if you're the lead, you got to be here at rehearsal all the time.
Yeah, you got to put in the time.
So that's again all part of scheduling and making it all work.
So big broadcast, what's the date for that?
Big broadcast is February 20th and 22nd. Okay. We take that day off because of athletics. Okay. Like everything else, we try to work with other groups. That's right. So we never want to compete because there may be somebody on the basketball team that wants to be in walk-ons, which is our comic group that fills, and we want to give them the opportunity. Yeah. So we try to work that.
How about spring show? What's the date for the spring musical?
The spring musical is the last week in April. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Okay, that's all right. We'll be posting that on our social media so people can
Like
see
24, 25, 26.
that. Right around the end of April.
You asked me about not to ramble on, but the theater, the stage going in at the
Right,
middle school.
yeah, the middle school.
I just want to say I love it. I think it's awesome. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank the community for helping us get the money. Whatever happened, I want to thank those people because they have needed that space for a long time.
Yeah, our school board approved that, so
Yes.
that we'll thank them.
And it's going to be a great space, and it is a great space that is right for them. We talk about the rigging and the safety. It's not going to have that, so it's going to be great for that age group. It is a safe space that is a great performance space that will showcase them and hopefully start really.
That's right.
They'll get an earlier interest. In the
Yeah,
arts.
and we'll see even more kids getting involved in our arts program here at the high school.
So I could not be happier about it.
Well, thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed Mr. Taylor today and just all that he does here at Frankfort High School. We've had a really long history of a great theater department, and our kids benefit from our teachers like Mr. Taylor. And we thank you for all you do, Mr. Taylor. And signing off from the January Town Hall here at Frankfort High School, thank you for watching today, and enjoy this segment of Roaming with Rhoda that was filmed at Blue Ridge Primary. Enjoy. Welcome, hot dogs. This month I'm on Roaming with Rhoda at Blue Ridge Primary, and I'm asking kids what their favorite thing is about Blue Ridge Primary. I'm sure we're going to get some interesting answers. Enjoy. What is your first name?
Faith.
Faith. And Faith, what is your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
Lunch.
Lunch. Okay. What's your favorite lunch food?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Okay. Hot dogs. Mine was pizza. So great to hear.
My favorite thing about Blue Ridge is the classrooms.
The classrooms, like your teachers and
Yeah.
everybody. Okay. All right. Thank you. Zyra, what is your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
Playing in the gym. Recess.
Recess. Okay.
No, lunch.
And lunch. And earlier you said reading. Do you like to read too?
Oh, yeah.
Justin, what's your favorite thing about Blue Ridge Primary School?
I like Coach Arts. He's cool.
You like Coach Art? He's cool. Okay, well, I think we all kind of like him too. Thank you. Jace, what is your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
My favorite thing about Blue Ridge is Coach Arts. I think he's really funny.
Coach Art's really funny. Do you watch his videos?
Yes.
They're pretty crazy, aren't they? Mm-hmm. All right, great to hear. All right, thanks.
Hey, Dr. Rhoda, how you doing?
Hey.
You're on my turf now, Scooter.
All right.
How's things going?
I'm doing great. Coach Art, what's your favorite thing about Blue Ridge Primary School?
You know, I think
It's kind of hard to follow. It's kind of hard to follow you around with a mic
thing
when
I
you're
need to do most, and that's what I
around.
enjoy a lot, is coming out here and working with the staff and teaching everybody about school safety, because it's really important. So I got to go. I got more headbands in the wash.
All right.
See you again, Dr. Rhoda.
Keep up the good work, Coach
All right.
Art. All right. That's a lap.
Hey, that's my line.
You were on Roaming with Rhoda. What is your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
Gym.
The teachers when I was in Blue Ridge.
The teachers when you were in Blue Ridge, so you're not even in Blue Ridge anymore, but you probably missed Blue Ridge. Chase, what is your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
I love all the teachers. They're kind of nice.
Oh, I love to hear it.
I like to go play at recess.
You like to go play at recess. That was my favorite thing too.
Gym.
Gym, all right, thank you, Maddie. Jaden, what's your favorite thing to do at Blue Ridge?
Play in the gym.
Play in the gym, all right. What is your name?
I am Mrs. Peterson.
Mrs. Peterson, assistant principal here at Blue Ridge. What is your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
Oh, my favorite thing about Blue Ridge is how much the kids are reading. They love to read. They want to read. They love reading.
I love to hear it. Thank you, Mrs. Peterson.
My name is Mrs. Allen.
And Mrs. Allen, what do you do here at Blue Ridge?
I'm the PE teacher here at Blue Ridge.
PE teacher. A lot of kids said gym. What is your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
Oh gosh, I love it here. I love the kids. I love the staff. Everybody's excited about PE, and in kindergarten, first and second grade, and preschool, I don't have any complainers, so it's great.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Allen.
You're welcome.
Sam, what's your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
Rocket tickets.
Rocket tickets. Okay, thank you, Sam.
Playing with my friends and coloring. That we can do like fun activities, and every Friday they call down people that do rocket tickets.
Oh, rocket tickets. I've heard about those.
Math seeds.
Math seeds. That's right. I've heard great things about math seeds.
I like it because I won 120 28.
You've got a goal in math seeds. That's why you like it. I love it. Thank you. Officer Hessian, what is your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
I think the staff and the teachers are probably the best thing I really enjoy.
Okay.
I'm coming out here working with the kids every day, and I'm really fond of that Coach Nelson guy. I think he's really a hysterical and informative individual.
I think you mean Coach Art, don't
Yeah.
you? Okay. All right. Thank you.
I was being formal with Coach Nelson.
All right. Thanks. Take a lap. Celia, what is your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
I like that we do fun stuff and that we get to do fun activities like nacho night and games.
Nacho night sounds pretty good and kind of makes me hungry.
All the teachers.
All of the teachers, I'm sure they'll love to hear that. Thank you, Bella.
The math.
The math.
Reading.
Reading. All right. I love it. I like to read too.
Learning new things.
Learning new things. Thank you, Annabelle. Mrs. Ragsdale, what do you do here at Blue Ridge?
I am one of the ML teachers.
ML teachers, and what's your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
Getting to know the kids.
Honestly, the food.
Honestly, the food. Reading. What is your name?
Melissa Shelley.
Melissa Shilley. What do you do here at Blue Ridge?
I'm a paraprofessional.
You're a paraprofessional. What's your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
Seeing the kids every day.
Seeing the kids every day.
Makes my day.
That makes my day too. So what's your favorite thing about Blue Ridge?
Is that you can learn.
The place that you can learn. I love it. Thank you.
That there's teachers here. I want to be one when I grow up.
There are teachers here that you want to be when you grow up. You are one of our youngest grow your own teachers. Keep that thought. It's a great profession. Thank you. Hey, hot dogs, I hope you enjoyed this session of Blue Ridge Roaming with Rhoda. We got some great responses from kids. I hope you enjoyed them. Have a great day.